Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and it's time for another installment of News It or Lose It, where I take something that's trending in the world of music, give you the scoop on the story along with some of my own opinions and takeaways. And today we're talking about some unfortunate allegations that are cropping up against the band All Time Low. They've been active for about 2 decades now, very popular, very well known, especially if you're into alternative and pop punk music. They started from their hometown of Maryland, and they grew into an international success, which led to a lot of tours and meeting and interacting with a lot of fans, and that's where this story starts. So, over time, there have been some rumors about Jack Barakat, their guitarist specifically, and him being inappropriate towards underage fans. We're talking things that could be labeled catcalling, or just when times were different, not excusing it in any way, especially back in like the 2000s into the early 2010s. It was almost normalized for people to be like, oh hey, nice boobs, and not take into account that one, you shouldn't just randomly say that to a stranger, but two, the fact that a lot of your fans are literal children. And a lot of the conversation surrounding these allegations stemmed from there, but it hit a boiling point when a TikTok user known as Mini.Grew posted this video.
They only want you when you're
If you saw that video and felt very confused by that, and their subsequent not naming the band but heavily implying in the comments section that they did inappropriate things like trying to steal their bra and also trying to buy them beer while they were underage, then I don't blame you at all. The statement that they gave just seemingly came out of nowhere, both to me and to, I'm sure, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who listen to and enjoy their music. So with this coming out, a lot of people on Twitter and Reddit and other places like TikTok, I'm sure, I don't have TikTok, I wouldn't know, but what they're basically saying is that it's not just this one thing, All Time Low, that we're upset about. It's a history of bad behavior, of toxicity that you've put out there, specifically from Jack and to anybody who had possibly defended or protected him, I guess would be the better word in the past. Let's read All Time Low's statement first, which it's not Notes app apology, but I still don't feel that it's all that great. It basically puts out a certain type of vibe and then also just coils back into the we're looking into it, which again can be true. There's times where you have to take legal action to clear your name. Think like Neck Deep, The Killers. Allegations get proven false, but also a lot of times things come out that also back up stories even further. So let's read All Time Lows. The allegations being brought against us are absolutely and unequivocally false. When a TikTok video gained traction a few weeks ago alluding to inappropriate behavior within our camp, we chose not to respond because of the glaring inconsistencies in the story and the apparent reluctance to mention us by name. We felt that a response would have elevated and escalated an outright lie, and in doing so, robbed actual victims of abuse of their very real and very important collective voice. We believe victims, we stand with victims, we have only ever wanted to cultivate and nurture a culture around our shows and band that is welcoming, healthy, and safe. You following this so far? Because to me it seems like, hey, our lawyer helped us write this, and it's signed by all 4 of us only, but it seems like a very sanitized statement. But again, I can see why they would have to go that route if they genuinely do have some sort of bombshell evidence or even other things that can overturn the way that the general public is receiving this so far. And if you're on Twitter, you know that it's not a good reception. It is with that in mind that we have to state with outright certainty that what is being said about us is completely and utterly false. We are investigating further the source of these false accusations and will be seeking legal recourse as we take these allegations very seriously. With that in mind, we want to say again we stand with victims and always wish to amplify the voices and stories of those who have suffered abuse and trauma, but we cannot and will not fuel or amplify lies that only cloud and distort the true stories of those who need to be heard and represented. They went on to say, we appreciate and truly never take for granted the platform that you have granted us by supporting our band and us as individuals over the years. We cannot overstate how much we respect and cherish the sanctity of this fan base and the connections we've made with you through the years. We are so thankful for the growth that stems from this connection. We have only ever sought positivity and wellness for those who have crossed our path throughout our nearly 2 decade spanning career. We are so fortunate to learn and grow alongside all of you. If you've ever been to an All Time Low concert, which I have, I think I've seen them 3 or 4 times, I like them a lot. Full disclosure, they're one of my favorite bands. I love their music. then you've probably seen a lot of underage girls, possibly, also women. I'm not entirely sure, you can't really tell who is throwing them, but bras are thrown up on stage, and while they backed away from this in light of recent years and the Me Too movement and the changing conversation, which has definitely happened in all scenes, specifically that one, which is often looked to be a safe space for a lot of people with pop punk and emo music. Now, if you think I'm getting all bent out of shape over just one video on TikTok that's since been deleted, trust me, it's not that. There's another bombshell story that I haven't even shared yet that I found way more concerning than anything that they addressed in this one specific little almost borderline Notes app apology. I'm talking about something that came from an account that's now been suspended on Twitter at ATL Statement. I will link to it in the description down below. But to summarize the story for you, it seems like there was a young girl that from the age of 10 was going to All Time Low concerts with their mom, and basically they were alleging that Jack Barakat was taking her backstage, started giving her drugs in like her mid-teenage years, got her hooked, and basically had a toxic relationship that involved sexual abuse, doing things to her while she was intoxicated, whether that's alcohol or drugs, and this pattern kept coming back because they felt so attached, or else almost like they were loved or wanting to be loved by Jack. And it's just a really sad story, and I don't entirely know what to make of it again, because it's so tough, because we're in the court of public opinion, and here I am making a video on it, and I don't want to amplify something that's false, but I also don't want to not talk about it because I love the band's music. Here's my final 2 cents on the situation. People can change, people can grow, and I fully believe that. And if it was just comments and things that were inappropriate at that time, I don't condone what happened, but obviously culture has shifted. I'm mostly concerned about the allegations that have come out. This one specific story from @ATL Statement on Twitter that was very detailed, providing a long history of abuse at the hands of Jack Barakat, their guitarist. Then I would say maybe chop off the offending member from the band and try to piece things back together, because this is also another fueled by ramen band that are starting to kind of go down in the allegations flames. If we look back to the summer of 2020, we saw Swimmers, this supposedly woke band, just completely falling apart because they had previously made it pretty clear that they were a safe space, that they were the band that you could trust, they were feminists, whatever. And then look what the fuck happened. Everything was just handled in the most piss poor way possible. I don't want to see that happen to All Time Low because, again, I genuinely love their music. But Jack, if that's the offending member, if something has happened that maybe other members don't know about, other bands that have toured with them don't know about, then maybe it's time to finally sweep him under the rug. What do you guys think about the All Time Low situation? Because clearly I am having trouble even formulating thoughts at this point. But please just be civil to each other as we discuss this in the comments section. Don't be that person that's like, well, I never believe any women. And then the other side's like, well, I believe everything that I'm ever seen or told. Just because nobody is right in that situation. Because people lie, people also tell the truth, and there's an in-between. There is a gray area, and that's where we're at right now. It's unfortunate, but we're going to have to wait and see what these legal steps that All Time Low are taking are going to prove or disprove or whatever. It's complicated, it's a mess, but anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you've been to an All Time Low show or had an experience with them, then let us know in the comments section.